Have you ever heard of the phrase, lightning in a bottle? It's a statement with so much to offer in the few words that are presented. I feel it's a rare accolade to give anything in order to describe it. The very origin of the phrase comes from the literal feat of Ben Franklin capturing lightning in a bottle with his famous kite experiment. From there, we eventually took the phrase to equate it to the sense of great, fleeting success. And in a world with so many clickbaitable, overemphasizing, and hyperbolic statements being thrown around, I rarely see the phrase used to describe anything. Hi, I'm Josh, and I believe the anime Fooly Cooly is a visual example of the literal definition of that phrase. There are so many great anime that showcase amazing animation, storytelling, or innovation, but I feel like you can't describe them with such acknowledgement. There's this feeling, this overall aura that Fooly Cooly exudes, this unconventional, unpredictable narrative that is splayed into your brain as you watch, while also having this ability to relate without having to worry about explaining itself. I believe that allows it to exist in such a way that it feels like we captured lightning in a bottle. With only 6 episodes and being released in the year of 2000 by the studio Gainax, a series that only exists in a 4:3 ratio. That's a box, by the way. It's a coming-of-age story that follows 12-year-old Naota, whose stale, normal life is launched into chaos, figuratively, but also very literally, by an alien named Haruko Harahara. After she runs over the poor boy on her Vespa, instead of apologizing, she follows it up with a full-swing slam to his head with her bass guitar. Leaving the scene shortly after, she later shows up and becomes the housekeeper at Naoto's family bakery. The head injury leads to Naoto's head becoming a portal where robots start to emerge from. Haruko ends up fighting these robots, who are associated with Medical Mechanica, an iron-shaped factory that's been looming over the town. It's an absurd jumping-off point for a coming-of-age story, and honestly, it continues to just ramp up from there. I feel like even trying to compartmentalize this series into words is a struggle, because I feel as if it comes from a place of pure creation. As it's not your typical commercial anime, it was technically just a test series. At the time, animation in Japan was going through a generational shift as it transitioned from paper to digital. The animation drastically fluctuates throughout the series, and you might attribute that to they were just testing out the new equipment. While this is partially true, the style was also an intentional mood set by the director. And I think you can really feel that, because when it happens, it doesn't throw you off. It feels normal. Like, yeah, of course, perfect time to shift the animation. The reason it works is that there's this flow to every aspect of the show, and every single part moves forward effortlessly. Even down to the colors and the line work of the show. It's simplistic, and its very nature gives it a style that makes it stand out. I feel like it's what sets the tone and atmosphere of the show. And to quote the creator, it's as if imagination was being made physical and tangible, just if you were to take whatever's in your head and draw it. That quote resonates with me on how I feel not just about this series, but for anime in general. It's an expressive way of storytelling that captures emotions and feelings that aren't typically able to be expressed through other media. Fooly Cooly may be short, but it packs so much into its 150-minute runtime. There are many metaphors and symbolism overlaid throughout, along with references to obscure Japanese culture, older anime, and TV in general. The dialogue comes off as random sometimes because of it, but if you are inclined, just listen to a few minutes of the show with your eyes closed. I did say it was a coming-of-age story, right? Back to the dialogue though. It is one of the few series I'd recommend watching in both sub and dub, as you can easily forget you are watching either one because of how well it was done. I could sit here and go on and on about the reason for that, but I feel like the YouTuber, The Cartoon Cypher, has a great video explaining that already. This short, punchy fever dream of a series is elevated further by the music from the alt-rock band The Pillows. The overall mood and direction of the story feels as if the two walk hand in hand, aiding in the emotional depth while blending with the absurdity of the show. Not only complementing the animations, but also the individual characters as well. It leads to these visceral connections that make moments in the anime hit harder. This is an example where the music doesn't just enhance the experience, it defines it. The real distinction on why this anime exists as a moment of creative brilliance can be seen when taking a look at the sequels that stem from the IP. There is a clear difference in overall product when placed into someone else's hands. With 4 sequels that came out 18 and 23 years later, respectively, there is not a single sprinkle of the original spark, all having these edgy one-word descriptors, the very action of trying to set themselves apart that springboards itself off the original title, Fooly Cooly, alternative, progressive, grunge, shouagaze. Watching each of these sequels just put a bad taste in my mouth. They were all disappointments, and they felt like there was little to no effort put into them. Other than having some clean animation, the characters and plot just felt hollow. The best way to describe the sequels is as if someone wrote their own story, then someone went back over it to superimpose parts of the original Fooly Cooly over the top of it. Each series feels like that regular show episode where Mordecai and Rigby pretend that Benson is awake and move him around like a puppet, Fooly Cooly being Benson in this example. Honestly, I feel like each one of these sequels, if they removed the Fooly Cooly parts completely and made their own standalone series, each one would have succeeded on their own. But now they will forever be a lasting inscription of proof that the original series seized a fleeting spark. Fooly Cooly feels like a niche of a niche. It's honest, and it's a version of a story only they were able to make at that time. Given how old the series is, I still feel like there are moments I can relate to. It's funny because I see the phrase, "nothing ever happens," being used so often today. And within the first few minutes of Fooly Cooly, the main character echoes, "Nothing amazing happens here, only the ordinary." Later in the series, Haruko says to Naota, "You can't hit the ball if you don't try." Haruko is telling Naota that if you just sit around all day and say everything is just ordinary and do nothing about it, you're also the same as everything you call ordinary. There's a scene where Haruko and Naota buy ramen. Haruko ends up swapping the cheaper bowl she bought with the expensive one Naota got. In the exchange, Naota calls her selfish and says, "When you act like that, bad things are bound to happen to you." And she replies, "Oh well, I'll just have to deal with the bad things then." Haruko basically tells Naota that it's okay, even necessary to take risks and be reckless sometimes, with her reply, "Think of it like this. Eating ramen that tastes really bad can be kind of fun too." When digging through old interviews from the creator, you get this sense that there was a lot of love poured into the show, but I feel like pieces from the creator were too. This scene is how I feel they felt while crafting the show. This was a selfish and risky venture to construct a series such as this at that time, and this wasn't just a message to Naota or the audience, but to himself. If you did make it through my ramblings and you are still here, thank you for letting me dream bigger. Click a button, type some words down there, make me feel giddy or ruin my day. Yeah, I don't care. My next video is in the works. With that, I'm Josh. Have a wonderful rest of your day.